Primex, our insurance carrier, is well aware of what has happened up until this time.
And going forward, I mean, going forward, we've got a number of years to go. It's how many more of these situations are we going to run into, and how many more investigations are going to happen, and how much more money are we going to spend. So the idea is to go through some sort of training so that we all comport ourselves reasonably and we avoid these sort of situations, and they don't get exacerbated by excessive amounts of reporting in the newspapers.
That's why we need first a non-union employee handbook, where we have also the employee code of conduct.
2:30 this morning, I came up with the same idea that we ought to have Primex come up with another program on harassment. This is happening not only in this case, but I'm aware of a couple of others that may be surfacing because of the harassment policy. In fact, I almost said to myself that, maybe we shouldn't have that harassment policy because it's causing us a lot of problems. On the other hand, if it is truly harassment, then we've got to address it.
So if you don't have a policy in hand, and the policy exists in the form of the law, and you're putting yourself into a situation that you don't have any control, that's the reason for having a harassment policy that's specific to the business.
Yeah, and I have a question. There are many grievances and harassments filed from the nursing home, and I hear it take 5-6 months and nobody address it. So what is your measure? You have one employee address something, you take the same day an investigator, swatch. You have other employees waiting for months. They have legitimate reasons, and nothing is happening in the nursing home. And they went through all the channels because you keep on telling them go through the channels. And there are also non-union employees. Some are union, some are non-union. I wanted to know, why is nobody addressing those issues? 5 months and they file harassment, they file grievances. Nothing came to the commissioners and nothing is done.
Have you seen, my question to you, Commissioner Kenny, have you seen anything in writing regarding a grievance from the nursing home people that you're talking about?
Yes, they sent it to the 3 commissioners.
Have you seen something in writing?
Yeah, they sent it to the 3 commissioners.
That was not a grievance.
Would
was just
you
a note.
provide me with a copy of that?
Yeah.
It was a formal grievance, you're saying.
I didn't say it's a formal, it's a
A
grievance.
formal grievance
yeah.
that went through the proper process.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to see that document because I haven't seen anything.
You didn't receive any emails? There was even an email sent to me, why is Commissioner Kenny taken out of the loop? I didn't get any information. The information went only to certain people and the 2 commissioners. And she forwarded me like almost 50 emails, what she sent to the 2 commissioners. What I just received, I think about 2 weeks ago.
What you're missing the point.
Don't miss any point.
There has to be, in order for the commissioners to take action on a grievance, there has to be some formal grievance procedures stating that this is a grievance regarding harassment in the workplace and what the example is. At that point in time, the commissioners take action. We call the individual in, we call the other party in, and we decide whether it is founded or not. Okay? I have not seen anything that says this is a formal grievance, please take action on it. I've had emails saying that that there's possibility, that's what I just said a few minutes ago, there was possibility of another grievance coming, but I have not seen it. I have emailed this individual back saying you need to follow the process that's that we have. You go file a grievance to your immediate supervisor. The supervisor takes action on it with a certain period of time. It goes then to the, if it happens to deal with the nursing home, it goes to the director of the nursing home. She takes action on it within a certain period of time. If that individual feels that that wasn't properly taken, then they have the right to come to the commissioners with that grievance. I have not seen that. And if you've seen that, I'd like to see it, because I haven't seen it. Okay, we're still in public comment. Anybody got any? Yes, Mr. Brown?
To Mr. Babson's point about the IT bid, I know I've heard it on a number of occasions that Cybertron was a member of the IT committee, so. And also,
Excuse me, do you believe everything you hear?
I'm just,
Because I've said, no, they're not a member.
well, you did today, but I know previous to today, I have personally heard people say that he was a member of the committee.
Okay.
Okay? And also to the point that bids need to be opened in a public session. Because not only does it protect the bidders, it also protects the taxpayers. To be transparent about the bidding process. And if you're opening bids down in the cellar somewhere, that's not the proper way to handle bids, and they need to be open in a public session.
Well, Mr. Cybertron, if he was a member or not, he was running the meetings.
Why do you say that?
He was running the meetings, Mr. Cybertron.
His name is Mr. Rich.
Yeah, Mr. Rich, Mr.
That's
Cybertron
no,
is his
that's not his
company.
name. His name is Mr. Rich.
Yeah,
His
that's
company's
fine.
name
You
is
know,
Okay,
you know who
that's-
I'm talking about.
That's been done, and
Rich of
It's now
Cybertron, he's
in-
running the meetings.
it's now in the
We
past.
do it in this country.
Anybody else got any public comments? Yes, Ed?
This is about the 91A request.
Yep.
The 91A request, Mr. Chairman, is an asset to the citizen to instantly check government, but it's also an asset to you.
Yeah.
If we suspect that we have a question or a problem, you have 5 days to instantly quash that problem, to prove that nothing is happening. You shouldn't look at it as a detriment. It doesn't matter how much it costs.
We have 5 days to respond to the individual. We can say that it's going to take us time to find that information. It's going to take longer than 5. As long as we respond, we're covered by the law. I agree that if we can do it in 5 days, we better do it in 5 days.
But it's an asset to you.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be looked at something that's costing too much. That's the one instant free check that we have on government, is to use 91A requests. And if they're answered quickly and effectively, it makes the public, or gives the public, a good view on the county. So use that as an asset, because we both need to have that check. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It's part of our system.
Mhm.
Thank you.
But that, no, it doesn't matter.
Anybody else got any comment? Yes.
2 questions. Do you have internet access in this room?
Excuse me?
Do you have internet access in this room? Is there
Wireless.
Wi-Fi?
Not public. This is why
That I'm aware of.
Okay.
it's in the corner.
The question of the IT committee.
Yep.
I went to your website the other day and drove down to IT. There's nobody on it. Nothing, zip, squat. IT committee, blank.
Okay.
Well,
Who's on it?
understanding that the,
I'm sorry, I
I'm
can't hear
sorry.
you.
Understanding that our website is in the process of being completed. It's a new company who's taken it over, so we're in the process of completing the website. So that may be why there's nobody on it.
What would you think, what would be on the website in your mind? What should be on the website in your mind? Members of the committee?
Why not?
Who is, well, I'm just answering the question for you,
When I
but,
go to the website and ask a question,
yeah,
who's on the IT committee?
okay.
Why aren't their names there?
Okay,
I mean, that's not.
we can put that on.
Yeah,
Yep,
10 seconds, bingo.
yep.
Well,
And that is true of half of your website.
Okay,
Well, that's why.
Nothing, zip, squat.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying that it's still in the process of finishing.
Just
We're still in the process of
curiosity,
finishing touches on
I
it.
don't
Is
want
it-
to belabor the issue, I
Yeah.
just wonder how long that process has been going on.
it's an ongoing thing, but are there other things?
Sorry, maybe I didn't phrase my question
Okay.
correctly. How long has the process been going on? When did the website first come up?
Ed, you have a better idea than...
I have a comment on that whole thing.
How-
Just like the 91A requests, the website was an asset to the county, and it was approached and signed in a year ago, and it is almost a year.
Yeah.
It's not updated. There are pages that are blank. I just informed the town of Brookfield they need to update the links to the towns. They're not all working. That website, I believe, cost about $6,500. You had a whole year. Another asset that could be used to show that the county operates effectively and it's not being utilized. And I believe that's what the gentleman's case is.
Keep in mind that we do not have anybody that was hired to handle the website. It was taken on as an additional job by the HR department. Not that they wanted it, that's what we gave them. If we had somebody else that was well-versed in the website, we would have asked them to do it. But if there's anything else that needs to be on the website,
Was it a
Bring it
year
up to
ago
us.
that we awarded virtual town hall?
yes.
It was a year?
I can't believe it was a year
And
ago.
virtual town hall is very effective with towns. Brookfield has just signed on to virtual town hall also.
Yeah.
We are all up to speed, all our pages work, everything's fine.
Okay.
It takes the liaison between the departments and the administration of it. Virtual town hall is there for you
Mhm.
to have the website operate. That's what you paid them to do.
Yep.
So I would use the asset of the website. It again would reflect that the county is being operated correctly. When it's not operated, and that's the only window you see is that website, it looks like you have a lot of parts missing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Babson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I thought Neil was going to go a little bit farther and ask why we didn't have a Wi-Fi in here. In the legislature, they've got it piped in, so that if there's a question of the law, we just punch it in and sit there in our seats and look it up. You have a protected or a secure Wi-Fi here, but you don't have one open to the public, and it's a fairly simple thing to do. Why don't you consider doing it?
You have a very strong signal in the room, but no access to it. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Well, you're a delegate, David, why don't you fund it?
Well, I can't believe it costs much more than it costs in a simple unit at home.
Well, it costs $53,000 with a new nursing home.
Okay.
I think that cost me about 35 bucks.
$53,000 for Wi-Fi in a new nursing home.
I go to the cheapest Staples.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any public input?
Yeah.
Yes,
that
Bob.
whole wood pellet bid thing. You know, I'm prepared to eat a little bit of crow. if
No,
I'm
no,
really
you
ready
don't
do
have to
so.
say anything. It was handled the way I believe it should have. You are the one that put out the bid. You wrote up the specifications. We would look to you to give us a recommendation based on your specifications as to which company would come in the closest to meeting our goal. I had no problems with that. If you want to go further, that's up to you.
No, I didn't mean to spoil the soup, that's all. It's just, it won't happen again.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, I have something. The IT contract, I never saw IT contract.
The IT contract was
Yeah.
approved and signed
When?
way back when we approved it.
Well, it was put out to bid. Same company,
The day-
that's it?
the
You don't
day that
have
we
a new
approved it.
contract? You don't have a new contract?
Yes, we do. The day we approved
Okay,
the
can I have
contract,
a
it was
copy of the
signed.
contract?
We'll get you a copy, yep. I don't know why you didn't see a copy.
I know, I didn't see anything.
Did somebody else have their, yes?
Just one last thing. While an up-to-date website might be handy for the public, a more important technical problem that seems to lie with no attention whatsoever is our computerized timekeeping system.
It has been, it was talked about yesterday on the phone. It was supposed to be done by the middle of May, complete. I will watch that, and it will be done. That's been a long time coming.
Year and a half
The
later.
training has been done, no excuses left.
As I recall, I've been following this along, and it was 3 months ago, or 6 months ago, or 8 months ago, that they said they were running it in parallel, and that time has gone by, and I asked again probably in January, February, and they said it was all set to go and to be ready to go either March 1st or April 1st. Now we're finding out it isn't going at all.
There was
a
a lack of chronos coming in with a training system or a class for the supervisors, okay? That has been done. My understanding, it's been done. And all those supervisors, I believe there were 2 classes that were held. So there's no reason why the chrono system can't be up and running.
I have a quick question on that. So the chrono systems has been purchased. Was it in the contract that they're getting training with?
Yes.
The class was in the
Yes.
contract?
Yes.
So what is the holdup? Because if we purchase that with a training, the chrono people will come in and provide a training.
Chronos did come in and provide a training to our supervisors
And when was
within
that?
the last, I would say within the last month.
But if we purchase and pay for the training,
There was
and
some
we pay
training.
all this money, why didn't they come in sooner?
They
Because
have
then
been
they
in.
will have people coming in and train you immediately.
They did have
They did it.
training for other people, for other than the supervisors.
Yeah.
That was
They
done.
had immediately training.
Yes, that was done.
So now I don't get it. So what is the holdup then, if they had training?
I would suggest that you check up on the holdup and find out why.
There was
Okay.
water and there was a horse, but there was no drinking is the holdup. So I think that, all 3 of you should check into that.
Mhm.
I know the training was provided, I know the training was available, and I think the resistance was on purchasers and not on the suppliers.
Again, it was a combination of HR and
If,
our finance officer
Administration.
making sure that the system was up and running and that the proper training was given. They did not want to have to go back and correct a bunch of mistakes, which would be time-consuming, should a supervisor not know how to punch in the information as to whether this person is on the 3rd shift and they're getting extra pay because it's a night shift or a weekend shift. I mean, it's a complicated system. I agree that it's been long in coming, but without the proper training, it could cause us a lot of problems, especially with the payroll, because the payroll is included on it.
and if I recall correctly, I believe that it was Kronos hold up on this last bit of training, and until they finally could get it all together.
Okay? Anybody else? Mr. Brown?
I think people would expect you to get recommendations from the department heads, like in this case, Bob. That would be prudent. But the bids still need to be opened in public. Then the bid is opened in public, then it goes to Bob. Bob, what is your recommendation? The bids need to be opened in a public session.
Okay, seeing no other public comment, we'll close, did you have? No. We'll close that session and we'll be going into non-public. Jason, for what purpose? For security? And Bob, yours is for security also?
Then.
Thank you all for participating. I appreciate your comments, your questions. We'll do the best we can to follow through.
Yeah, make a motion to go into non-public for security reasons. Commissioner Kenny, yes. Commissioner Solomon?
Yes.
Commissioner Sorensen?
Yes.